The man who unmasked the Liver King.
The man who unmasked the Liver King. The most surprising unmasking of all time.
Do you know about the Liver King, Filthy? You know the whole thing?
I don't know the whole thing. I just saw that recently that came out. Anyway,
that was Derek. That was our guy Derek. He is the one who like came up with who like caught him, and he was on the Joe Rogan show again the other day. Like they were going over like the evidence and everything, and riffing on how much that guy spends on peds every month. When I first saw the list, or I saw the number of like 11 or 12K a month, I was like, y'all don't know how this works. Let me look. And it was like, oh my God. It was doing so much. It's because it's I think it's because it's pharmaceutical grade human growth hormone. And that shit is really, really expensive. And he's doing so much of it. And it's one of those things where like, I thought that stuff had diminishing returns. That's what I've always read and been told. That I think people take, like bodybuilders even, I think they take like a couple of IUs. IUs are, I don't know. International units. Just a little bitty, do I have a syringe? It's a tiny amount. I got a syringe somewhere. Now I cleaned them all up because it was looking kind of sketchy to have syringes on my desk.
He used to be using his testosterone with his heroin, and he's getting
I inject in this chair because it's like, I don't know, it's the nicest chair I own, I think, for one thing. It's like $650. It's not a Herman Miller, but I love it. And I've got like, my bottles here. It's nice to have a table in front of you. Anyway, I inject here. So there's often syringes. And 12 is so, and I use a tiny, tiny amount, but like 12 a day of that strikes me as like, it'd be like somebody saying they're doing like 3 or 4 grams of testosterone a week or something.
You said like a tiny amount. Do you use HGH?
No. I didn't say I use a tiny amount. I was just like, that's what's like protocol. Like whenever if you go to like our steroids, right? There's a subreddit for steroids. There's a bunch of them. There's another one for I go to a lot of the fitness steroid subreddits. Anyway, you'll see guys with their protocol like no, I take this much, this, that, and the other, and the mix that they take, the little cocktail or whatever. I've never seen anybody that takes that much.
Could he be an innovator? Like everyone else is like, there's no point in taking that much. No, keep going. He's like pushing the limit to this.
Well, look, he does have a very particular look to him.
He's a very muscular guy, right? Pretty ripped guy.
It's not just it's about his abdominals, and like the way they pop to me are his like biggest, craziest trait. And I've heard people say, and Derek and Joe Rogan were talking about this. They were saying like, has there been a little like lipo around the muscle to make it pop? Is there something behind the muscle? Like we talk about implants, and there's the goofy looking implants like Bruce Buffer has, the announcer for the UFC. He has fake abs. And it's like you took a Ninja Turtle costume and stuck it under his skin. It looks weird. But
are they fake abs or are they selective liposuction? That's what I thought it was. But
I was told, when I guess maybe I just whenever Joe told us about the fake abs, I thought implants was what we were talking about. I guess it's possible he did something different, but I always thought it was implants. I know there are implants regardless, but maybe he's got something like behind the muscle. Because like with breast implants, sometimes if they're not in there right, if they're not like behind the muscle, they don't look as real. Like maybe that's what's going on. Maybe he's hiding that there's something fake behind the muscle. He's doing so much, though. It was interesting to see those emails. He had this whole plan, right, for his trajectory in social media and the career that he could make from this, all the while dragging his family along with the 9 tenets of like, I don't know, masculinity or whatever.
Ancestral.
They're eating ground beef at the table, and the kids are walking around dragging 45-pound plates with dumbbells in their hands. And it's like, oh my God, like it looked like he was raising a master race over there, because he's got like 4 or 5 kids, and all of them have different size, like dumbbell, kettlebells, and all of them have different. Like he's got a rucksack on. Have you seen people?
This makes total sense though. You do this with dogs, right? Like you have 2 little dogs that have a ton of energy. You run them around, they go fall asleep. This makes the same deal. 5 kids, attach their weight to each
parenting.
Exactly.
Makes a good idea.
Yeah, I think I don't get it. I don't. Apparently, he's a 100 millionaire or something. He's made tens of millions of the Liver King, like this thing, like his products and everything.
I've also heard that.
Sometimes
people in the public eye exaggerate how much money they have because it makes them a bigger deal. Yeah, 100 million's a lot.
All right.
So has his empire fallen down from this? Oh, empire. Has all of his views like stopped? Is this a whole lifestyle he was selling and it's all a bunch of bullshit? Or is this like no one really cared how he got there? They're mostly interested in watching this weird rip guy eat raw meat. Like what's the
I don't know.
I bet it's a mix. Yeah, because he's definitely popular because of the novelty of like, oh, a shredded guy in like a weird like headdress made out of like animal fur, and he's eating a raw piece of liver.
Can we get a picture of Liver King, Zach? So an interesting. This guy doesn't seem to own a shirt. Now I didn't want to bias Zach, but I'm sure the picture he finds will be shirtless unless he fucks with me. I've never seen this guy with a shirt on. And there are other YouTubers that tried to debunk him, you know, like they were trying to prove that he had fake abs. And they told him to relax his abs and he couldn't. He said that he found that shirt. Okay, Zach.
That's the most shirt he's ever had on. Wait, that's like what they give you like when you go to prom for like under your
like, yeah, this guy can't relax his abs. He was sitting there in a chair in like the kind of the slouched over position I'm in right now, and he still had abs, and he couldn't not have abs. And it's like, these are fake. They're so fucking fake. That's not just exercise and diet.
Yeah, that to me is weird. What you like I use that when I tell people the story of the Liver King. I talk about what you just explained to me about how like his abs just are there all the time.
He says he sleeps with them tensed. He trains in his sleep, his ab workout.
It's retarded.
With his shoes off. That's the key.
I'll say, I will say that like there have been times when I'm like purposefully tensing and focusing on keeping them tense for long periods of time if I'm working out or doing things. I'm not sleeping like that. Like I'm doing the equivalent of a plank or something.
Look at his turtle shell.
So I have heard, and you know, the thing that everybody will rip on HGH about is like making your organs enlarge, and then that pushes the your stomach out and gives you that HGH gut they talk about. I think that that's like overblown. They make it seem just like his belly. They make it seem like if you take any at all, you're gonna look like this. This is the guy who's taking a insane amount, 12 a day, 12 IUs a day. Like you'd be looking at the huge amount of liquid that you're pushing, but it's human growth hormone.
I think that it's
like an animal.
Like I'm not an expert, but there's the amount you take, which you've mentioned, and the amount of time you take it over. You know, you could take a lot in one day, and it's not going to make a visible. Your organs aren't going to grow. This guy's only been doing it for a year now, right?
Yeah. Well, no. He was saying this is what I'm currently on. But he was like looking to do some other stuff. So I don't know how long he'd been on the HGH. I don't know.
Everybody should have known this was something fishy when like the ancestral tenets live like monkey guy shaves his chest.
Well, man, he looks tremendous. Look, everything aside, man, he's so thick and powerful through his shoulders and chest and back. Like he is an incredible physical. He is a short guy though, isn't he? Huh?
He is short, but that just
don't
makes
you love that?
thicker.
Doesn't that make you feel great, Taylor? Every time one of these gigantic motherfuckers has to stand next to an adult man, and somebody's brave enough to get their phone out and show us. Like,
yeah. At least I'm way taller than this guy. So that's that.
How tall is he?
I think he's 5'7". We saw.
Hang on. Just to be clear, Paulo Costa is clearly standing on a chair for like jokes over there. Like, but the guy to the left,
America candidate.
But the guy on the left, and Paulo Costa is natural, by the way. Like this, like to be clear, like this is the difference between a professional athlete and an unnatural regular human being. Like the guy on the right worked his whole life to look like that and pass his USADA test left and right. The guy in the middle would melt a cup.
Yeah, he'd melt a cup. You're right. Yeah, with just pure...
He's got that fucking pelt on his head is kind of badass though. I'm down.
He like
with
is
that.
injecting so much shit, like his pee's yellow. Like it can't even all be absorbed. It just goes right through him.
Yeah, I used to take so much of this stupid shit called T-Bomb 2 that my pee would turn kind of fluorescent greenish. But somewhere between it was like a highlighter, kind of yellowish green. This is years ago when I was like 19 or 20. T-Bomb 2 is a testosterone booster you buy over the counter at GNC. And
so it works.
Look, I don't fucking know, man. But I would take and they were supposed to take like 2 a day or something. They're $80 a bottle or something. And I was taking like 12.
Just pissing nothing but B vitamins all day.
And I was getting and you know, I was getting stronger much faster than my cousin, and I was attributing it all to the T-Bomb. And really I was probably just like working real hard. But yeah, I used to take a ton of T-Bomb too when I was a teenager. It's probably still in the market. That's a bit of nostalgia if I were to see that bottle again.
In his regimen? Is that on the list?
No, his regimen's all very scientifically
Yeah.
efficacious injections.
All of his stuff was from a
But
doctor.
what he tells people he's doing is like, take your shoes off, pretend to be a wolf at night. Like just like
he suns his asshole, right? He suns his asshole. He's one of those people.
That's not even weird compared to like some of the other
That's where
stuff.
the photosensitive receptors are, of course.
At least that right like I don't. Does it matter what area of your body?
I can smell that bottle.
Like the sun hitting your arm skin is going to be beneficial the same way the sun hitting your butthole would be. The vitamin D is coming in.
No,
you just look like a goober with your ass spread at the park.
The melanin in your skin is preventing those rays from penetrating you. Okay, you've built up a callus to God's great light.
I took Accutane. I'm good.
You've built up a callus to God's great light in the sky. Your asshole, however, it is uncalloused. Okay, so you get down on all fours and you point it up to God's great sky and you absorb His energy straight from the tap.
For me, it's about the emotional health. I don't have a place where the sun don't shine. Shines.
Do you have
For me, it's about making people at the bank uncomfortable.
Exactly. Zach, see if you can find a picture of him sunning his asshole, because I'm 97% sure that's a real thing.
Is it balls sunning?
Oh, you're gonna bounce on asshole?
Sun your asshole without sunning balls.
I think as much as I would love to, I'm past my time here, guys. Thanks for having me on. Good luck with that picture.
Filthy doesn't want himself next to that picture.
It's been many things we've seen on this show. I could just miss that one.
I'll send you a link.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Check out all the things.
See you later.